Hi there. Welcome back to Supercharged Fridays. I'm sitting here at 128 weeks. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. It's yet another Friday in the summer slash monsoon special that I'm going to be conducting in July and August. Uh, I'm not bringing in guests like I usually do. It's more ask me anything open office hours style. So if you're watching, welcome. Come in the comments and say hello. So I can see your name. I can see that you're watching. And if you're new here and if you haven't been watching before, you're always welcome. Doesn't matter. Happy you're here. My name is Sonal Behel. I'm a career strategist. And this is what I do. I go live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. There's an issue with Facebook today. I help people who are going through career transitions. I do this with courses, coaching, and content like this. Been doing this for a few years. It's fun. It's a mission. It's my life's work. So today the idea is, if you have questions, come in, put in the word question in capital letters and bring it here so that I can help you. I'm going to be live for something like 20 minutes, something like that. This is sitting in my sister's home studio. So let's get into it. My idea is to share whatever it is I can help you with some knowledge, with some advice, and also with some resources that I have, which are both free and paid. I have free resources on YouTube, on LinkedIn, podcasts, everything I do. And there are some paid resources that I have that have been packaged in such a way you get them, you acquire them, and they're with you for life, and they're step by step as well. Having said that, it's important that I say this every single time. This advice that I share is coming from my perspective, from my experience. So you got to take it with a pinch of salt and adapt it to your situation. So with that said, let's get into it. Thank you guys for joining. Great to see you as well. Thank you for being here. Let's get into it. I have 3 questions that I've specifically received in the last couple of days, and I'm going to be addressing them first. Um, let's get into it. The first question was very interesting. It said, I want to leave my job after only being there for the 2 months. How do I convey to them that I want to leave without creating a bad image for myself, right? Now, this is a difficult situation. You want to be liked, you don't want to burn bridges, but at the same time, you're not happy there. So I would say, in my experience, when something like this happens, it's like pulling a band-aid. The sooner you do it, the better. The more you wait, the worse it becomes, and that wound will fester and make life a little bit difficult for you. So what I recommend is, don't wait for it, do it as soon as possible. um, it's very difficult to give this message and still leave friendships intact, or they're not really friendships because they're quite new, but those relationships, particularly with acquaintances, it's very hard, right? You want to have best of both. Be prepared to be like disliked, okay? Because remember how much time and energy and effort they took to bring you on board. And if you are within 2 months thinking, oh my gosh, I don't like it here, this is not the right place for me, you got to put yourself in their shoes. Hopefully, you will learn some empathy through this experience. So don't just think about your own self interest, you got to understand from their point of view. So I would approach it with more empathy, saying, it's been a great experience, but it's not, unfortunately, aligning with my skills, my talent, my values, whatever it is. You got to choose. You got to choose your words wisely, and be prepared that it may not land the way you want it, because the news is negative. No matter how much you try to, dress it up with flowers, it's not positive news. So I suggest the sooner you do it, the better. There is a right way to do it. There is a wrong way to do it. The wrong way would be not say anything and just disappear, right? Or the wrong way would be in a hurry and rudely, because it makes you uncomfortable, so you want to get out. The right way would be to do it the way you would expect someone to do it with you, with kindness, with empathy, and just honesty. You don't have to beat around the bush too much. Just take it, give it. You're not the first person in the world who's leaving a company within 2 months. You're not going to be the last person. The last thing I'm going to say is, you want to take some lessons away from this experience. The next time you are hired in a company, please, 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 I can't tell you how many times this has come up as a topic. The next time you're with a company, please take your time, do your homework, check out what the culture is going to be like, ask those questions, talk to people who've been in that company so that this doesn't happen again. Because if you do this again and again and again, you're going to develop a reputation. And the world is very small. People say it's a large world. It's very small for people of good quality. So you want to be known for that. So good luck with that. I hope this helps you. If there are any other comments, if you guys have any comments related to what I just said, feel free to ask as well. I'm going to answer this one. Hey, Karthik, thank you for joining. This is a good question, Karthik. I did an entire live stream in the month of May. It was around 2 months ago. And the topic was, is an MBA worth it? Is a master's degree worth it? We literally talked about this for 25 minutes. So go back and watch it. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, you just go back 2 months and you'll find this topic and we go into a lot more detail. So in the interest of time, I'm going to let you check that out. So thank you guys for being here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Varsha, for being here. It's my sister's studio. She needs lots of greenery and lots of inspiration because she's in the creative space. So I'm going to get into the next question we have here. This is also a question that I've been asked many times. Can we negotiate salary after accepting a job offer? If yes, how? Listen, you can do whatever you want. You don't need permission from someone. You're a fully functioning adult, right? Having said that, again, you got to have some empathy and put yourself in the shoes of the other person. You've accepted something, you said yes to something. Now suddenly you're saying, actually, I want more. No matter how well you will say it, you will come across as flaky and unreliable. You will. Imagine this happens to you. You're in a hiring role. You're a hiring manager. Someone says, yes, I'm keen. They sign the offer letter. Whew. And then after signing, a few days later, they're saying, actually, I'm looking for more money. There's a right way and there's a wrong way to do it, right? So you firstly want to be that person who's really careful about it. And why do you want more money? Based on some homework you've done. So here, what I recommend is a paid resource that I have. That's an ebook. I don't know, 32, 33 pages that I've made myself. You can check it out. It's on my website. And that goes into the kind of script, the kind of language that you can use so that you come across as professional and you don't burn bridges and you don't look flaky or floozy or unreliable or, someone who just changed their mind at the drop of a hat. So you can check that out at superchargeyourself.com/negotiation script. I highly recommend you take it and keep it. It's your ebook for life. It has 22 different scenarios on what to do when things get difficult during a salary negotiation. And I've literally given you fill in the blank answers that you can use for yourself. The scripts are already there. So I highly recommend checking that out because there's some resources like this one in the email guide that I have where I know the price is going to go up soon. So it's one of those things that's evergreen. I know it's going to help people as well. All right. So then I have another question here on salary negotiation. Okay, perfect. Sudarshan, I literally just answered that. So if you're watching and you joined, feel free to catch the replay as well. Hi, Ravi. Everything is in caps lock, so just a little bit difficult to read. If you're a new grad in a new job, how do you become more skillful in your new job? Okay, good question. So what you want to do, Ravi, is you want to have that student mindset throughout, right? Open to learning, asking questions, and ask questions that are backward. Like, let's say you're curious and you're ambitious, you want to move to the next level. You can say, actually, for example, let's say I'm a analyst. The next role they tell me is senior analyst. What does it take to be a senior analyst? How can I get there? And then, it's like reverse engineering. Do it backwards and then find out what are some skills you need, whether they are people, interpersonal, problem solving type skills, or whether they are technical skills, right? Whatever they are, figure that out and make a plan, make a development plan, make a growth plan on how you're going to do it. So with that, you should be good. I think that's a good place to start because this is a topic that can really overwhelm people, particularly when you're new in your career. I would say if you start with that, you're going to come up with a bunch of skills that you're going to have to learn, and nothing teaches you like experience. You can do all the courses in the world, whether in a classroom, whether online, but nothing teaches you like, greasing your palms, getting your palms dirty, and just getting in there and doing the work. Coming back home, being cognizant, being reflective of the lessons that you're learning in that experience. Hey, Ankit, my first interview, I'm rejected. I'm sorry, Ankit. Wasn't meant to be. Don't worry about it. Chin up. Move on. Move on to the next one. All right. Good luck. We've all been there. Don't worry. In hindsight, it'll probably be something that happened for a reason, but you don't know that right now. Hey, Kevin, good morning in Dallas. I hope it's not as crazy hot as it's been for you the last few days. I know Europe's been burning. India, I mean, I'm in Delhi, so it's proper monsoons. Thank you. It is a secret garden. Hey, Felicia, good to see you. Thank you for joining. How do you negotiate a better salary along with a promotion? What a good question, Anuradha. Check out my YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist on how to negotiate better. I've shared my favorite tips and tricks in there for free. So feel free to take advantage of that. The third question I received anonymously was, oh my goodness, this one just made my blood boil. Oh goodness. The HR manager of XYZ company is asking me for money and is saying that he will give me the joining letter. She called it the joining letter, which is basically the contract, right? The employment letter directly. For this to happen, he's going to give me 10,000 rupees. Now, if you're watching outside India, how much is 10,000 rupees? It doesn't matter. He's asking her for money. Okay, that's coming to roughly about 120, 130 euros. Okay, he's asking for money, and once he gets money from her, he says he's going to give her a joining letter. Does this happen often? The question cut off because of the character limit. Does this happen often in companies? Quick answer: no, never, never. So, my dear friend, if somebody asks you for money, whether it's an HR manager, whether it's a recruiter, agency recruiter, if they're asking you and not the company for money, HR is internal. So there's really, really shady behavior going on here. But even if it's an agency recruiter and they're outsiders and they're external, recruiters contracted to work for the company, and they normally are only supposed to ask money from the company, not from you. So if someone asks you for money, you have to run in the opposite direction. It is so wrong on so many levels. And I'm glad you asked this, and hopefully you haven't gone in that route and gone and taken the parted your money for them, because it's not worth it. Asking anyone for money is not only wrong, it's illegal. So Felicia, thank you for it's just awful. So all right, okay, I see that I have a few more questions after I finished these three. Hey, Deepthi. So Deepthi says, she's just joined a company. How can I discuss with seniors on job growth and increment package within a year? Okay, Deepthi, good question. So I just talked about this in so watch the replay. I talked about calculating it backwards and seeing what are the things you need to do. And that'll definitely help you as well. And I also have, live streams that I've done in the past on promotions. And there'll be another podcast episode coming up on promotion as well. So I'm glad you're asking. I'm glad you're being ambitious and demanding something that you want. And stay tuned here, but you'll get a lot of value from watching the replay. So good luck. How do you answer the question if someone says you're overqualified for the role? Rahul, when people say you're overqualified, it tends to be a polite way of saying you're too old for us, right? So that's illegal for them to say. So they don't want to say it. So they'll say, oh, you're overqualified. So when they say that, you've got to show that in whatever skills they are looking for, you might be overqualified, but you're not qualified in everything. You got to show that you have a lot to learn and you have the hunger to grow and learn, and show that you're doing this, because that can help people. They can take advantage of the thing that you think is holding you back. I'm a big fan of making that your superpower. Okay, I'm overqualified in some ways, right? Life experience and project management, I've done it. So I'm an asset there. However, I have other things to learn and I have other ways to prove myself. So you got to sort of attack that objection upfront with them, because you've got to control that narrative. So it's definitely possible. And you can also ask for feedback, right? What would they prefer? What are the things they're looking for? And then showcase if you feel you're the right person for the job. But don't sell yourself unnecessarily, just even if you're not convinced, because they won't be convinced. You only argue to your strengths if you're convinced and you're like, this is a really great role and I know I'd be amazing at it. Please don't do it if you're half invested in it, because people smell that, right? Good luck for you. Good luck to you for that. Hey, LinkedIn user, I got fired for placing a complaint for assault harassment. That's awful. Oh my goodness. It's the wrong place, right? That's a horrible place with a horrible culture run in the opposite direction. Hey, Meg. Meg says, what if you were hired to move a company, but they hired you at a low rate and then changed the role? You were hired to move a company. I'm not quite sure I understand, but they hired you at a low rate, receptionist, and then changed the role. Meg, it's very rare for them to. Okay, goodness, sorry guys, it's really hot. Ooh. Oh, give me a sec. Kind of boiling right now with the heat and the humidity. Just give me a sec. Meg, it's a little bit illegal for them to do that. So if they've written a role in the contract and then they decide to change it, they can't do that unless it's signed on both sides, usually in most countries in the world. A change in role, a change in compensation, and a change in the location of the position cannot be done unilaterally. So if they've done that, and if you haven't signed it, that is a serious concern for me. So you got to ask the questions to the right people and the decision makers, because that's dodgy behavior in my mind. And if it's not dodgy and it's something they did, but they told you about it, that happens. In reality, things happen, things change. So I get that. But if they've done it unilaterally, like I said, without your knowledge, without your signature, that is something that I think is a problem. All right. Vishal has a question. There's some big companies that have temporarily stopped the hiring process. They're analyzing their headcount. Do we need to worry in the coming days or weeks whether more companies will slow down their hiring? Yeah. So listen, is a little bit of a slowdown happening in hiring? Yes, it is happening. It's happening everywhere in the world. Does it mean you have to worry? No, because worry is counterintuitive. It's counterproductive. What you need to do is you need to focus on what you can control, because you cannot control if companies decide to, decrease their headcount, etc. If you're currently in hiring, in processes in hiring, do whatever you need to do, but just have some faith. It's going to be okay. I know that sounds a bit flaky, but at the end of the day, if slowdowns are going to happen, they're going to happen. If there's a recession that's coming up, it's coming up. Can you do anything about it? You cannot. You can just continue to be valuable, continue to be liked, continue to do great work, and continue to just not only have value for the company but show that value on a regular basis. That's it. That's all you can do. So not only is a slowdown happening, but there's layoffs happening as well. Bad news everywhere. Doesn't matter. These are cycles. I've been through 3 layoffs personally. Not conducted them, because I have conducted them, but I've also been impacted by them. I'm still standing. I'm okay. So focus on a positive mindset. Focus on things you can control and continue to put your head down and do the work, whatever that work looks like. If you're in college, if you're working, if you're looking for a job, just focus. Just have those blinders on, because otherwise this is not productive for you. Junaid says, how do you network with people you don't know and secure a job? Junaid, good question. This is a question that I've been asked so many times that I decided to help people out by creating an ebook, which has email templates. When you don't know people, or you kind of know people, but if it's a recruiter or an internal recruiter or a headhunter, how do you reach out to them? All of that is there. Check out my email guide, which is an ebook. It's available at superchargeyourself.com/email guide. Nevertheless, there's I think if you go there, you'll find a free masterclass. So you'll have information there as well. And if you find that useful, great. If you find you want more and you want more step-by-step instruction, the email guide is there to help you out for that. So superchargeyourself.com/email guide, that has a video. It's a YouTube video with lots of information on how to reach out to people for networking during job search. You'll find that useful. So good luck. Okay. I am about to leave nowadays because I am melting. If you switch your job 3 to 4 times a year, Gulam, I think it matters why you left them. And if you've left 3 to 4 times a year, it's a concern for me. I'll be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? You got to be honest why you left. And if every single time you left for money, that is a concern for them. But if something happened outside your control, then be honest about that. So you need to rehearse those answers. You can't, I don't personally, I'm not a fan of lying, because eventually not only do you get caught, but it just ruins your reputation as well. So it's important that the why behind the changes is important. So yeah, Felicia, thank you for confirming. Hey, Varsha, it'll be great to see you. 44 degrees, dude. I don't envy you. I feel hot just like reading it. How many days? 25 days without rain? Looks awful. Hey, Santosh, while switching to a new domain, which option works well? Good salary with lots of new skill requirements, less than average salary with better transferable skills. It's very personal, Santosh. What do you want? Like, which one do you want to be at? Which one makes you happy? Are you in a situation where you need the money? Then take the first one. Are you in a situation where you're relatively all right? You're pretty okay. You're established. I know we can always use more money. Be practical. Which one do you see more growth? Not only, I mean, you can have better transferable skills, but yeah, what does that result in? Does it result in more growth? You want to be in a place where there is growth opportunities. You can grow in the future. That's what you want, right? Because money is very short term. And you have opinions here as well from others. Felicia, thank you for sharing. Taking into account my AI and ML, what career paths do you suggest? Nitesh, it's a question that I think Google will answer for you. Do a simple Google search. You'll see so many particular job titles. Then when you find these job titles, go to Naukri, go to Naukri.com, go to LinkedIn.com, go to all the leading websites which are job aggregators, and see what is being hired. What are the kind of roles that are being hired? You'll definitely find lots of information. Is getting into a management role too risky for techies? I feel like a management role is replaceable compared to a tech role. There's a master's degree. Okay, you're asking two questions here. I'm just going to answer the first one. I don't think so. I think when you are multi-skilled, you're more difficult to replace because you're a manager who also understands the tech at the back. I don't think it's a risky role. I don't think particularly for techies. If you're a techie and you want to grow, a management role is great. But if you're a techie and you want to go deeper and have more, deeper knowledge and more depth of knowledge, then don't get into a management role because your attention and your skills do get diluted, right? So in that sense, it is fair what you're saying. But if you have that ambition and you want to grow and you think the management role is right for you, then go for it. Personally, don't think there's anything wrong with it. Hey, Meg. Yeah. Odd. And you're an organizer. And then, super odd. Is it recommended to mention the reason for leaving in the resignation letter? I don't think so. You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay. All right. Last question. Hey, Gulam, how do you answer? Tell us about your weakness. It's a good question, Gulam. Check out my YouTube. I have an entire video dedicated to this question. It's literally like how to answer. Tell me about your greatest weakness. And if you go to my website, superchargeyourself.com, I have a free downloadable PDF which has questions that you can prepare, which will, next time that you get this question, you'll be in a much more sort of prepared position to help you answer this question with ease. So I hope this is helpful. Lots of interesting questions. Thank you guys for being here. As always, I appreciate it. I'm going to go sit in front of an air conditioner and cool myself. I hope you have a good Friday and a good weekend. I'm doing this throughout July and August. I'm not bringing in guests because I'm sort of part-time working and, got my phone everywhere I go. And go down and join my family, and I shall see you at the same time next week. So if you got career questions, this is the place to be. Join me then. Till then, stay cool. If you're in countries going through the heat wave, stay cool mentally, physically. It's always worth it. When something triggers us, something makes us angry, sit down, be calm for a minute before responding. It's worth it. So take care. Have a good Friday and a good weekend.